So our main driving force for our main character of a overly lewd show about a island is the fact that his is too big. That checks. That checks. I mean, putting the jokes aside, yes, he obviously has a legitimate trauma that he's going through, even with a sister. So it's cool to actually have some real concepts behind the reason why they don't want to on an island that is full of people wanting to. But at the same time, I can't help but laugh at the fact that he's like, my is like inhumanly huge. It's just so freaking big. It's beyond measure and comprehension. Anyways, yes, Nukitashi episode 2, really fantastic episode. Last week's episode impression did really, really well. I'm wondering if it's probably because there was a little bit of misinformation going on around Oceanvale and Nukitashi. Maybe that was driving people to my video thinking that I was talking about that whole incident. I don't know. We'll see, but I think I will probably cover this show just because I'm getting enough of a laugh and entertainment out of it either way. So it was a good episode. Episode 2 was really, really solid. Getting an introduction to the other members of the Anti-Copulation Front, which apparently is a lolly that nobody wants to... It seemed to imply that they're not allowed to be her. I guess it's really kind of just going the idea that the guy's seen a sign that literally said, "Don't touch children," which I think is sort of a nice thing that despite this island has this perversion law, that they still don't let people touch children. Great. I mean, we have some sort of moral compass on this island, so that's a good thing at least. Unfortunately for her, though, because she's just petite. She's not, it's not that she's a kid, it's just that she's petite. Poor girl. Hinami is my poor girl. But yes, also the introduction of Misaki, who her whole deal is that she's too chunky. Nobody wants to... It says that she's a... So nobody's touched her, but she wants to. It's just that, unfortunately, apparently nobody touches her. Now, she said that she doesn't want to have people see her, and so I would assume that she's probably turning people down just because she's embarrassed about her weight. I don't know. It seems like she wants to, but she just doesn't want to show nobody it. I mean, there's a lot of people running around getting and they have their clothes on, so I don't think that's the problem, Misaki. Girls down bad, though. Both girls are down bad, though. I think it's more interesting from Hinami's perspective, honestly, is that the fact that she feels like she's a bad person because she doesn't. It's not that she wants to. That seems the thing. It's like it's not that she wants to. Misaki seems like she kind of wants to, but it's really an aspect of that they have to. If they don't, they're gonna get in trouble. Again, that's that whole kind of stupid, like, serious nature inside of a absurd show, which I think actually works perfectly. And I think that's why I'm liking the show overall. I mean, putting aside the lewdness of it, the ecchi, and the jokes, all the jokes and all that kind of stuff. Putting that aside, it has a logic behind the absurdity. I guess the best way to put it. But anyways, let's go with the episode proper, opening up with, they had an introduction very briefly to the governor of the actual island, which is, his name's Aloha. His name's Aloha. Nice. Anyways, I'm assuming he's probably going to be the father to Nanase. That's going to be my assumption. This is probably one of those things where she feels that she's at fault for everything because of what her father's doing. Some stupid thing like that. He's got to be a father of somebody. Somebody important in the show. It turned out to be Jinosuke. His father's not actually dead, and he doesn't recognize him from the pictures. He just, like, had a face change or something like that. Ditched the wife. Jinosuke's father killed his wife and then had plastic surgery so that he could create the perverted law to make a island. That's gonna be the whole thing. He wants to profit off of... Anyways, that aside, they have that whole situation. And then, yes, they have the bag inspection, which Jinosuke is immediately terrified for because he has a egg. He has eggs. Well, first, when they first get there, yes, we have Hinami shows up, and she has a chair for some reason. This entire episode, she has a chair, and I'm very curious what the chair thing's about. I don't know if it's like her comfort blanket or what, but she always has a chair with her. Now, she does stand on it at some point in order to do the chalkboard, so maybe she brings a chair with her because she's so short. She always has to have it with her. Anyway. But yeah, we very quickly find out that Rei is covering for her. She doesn't want anybody inspecting her, and so she immediately says she's okay, let her go. Now, it could be a trust thing. But either way, it does seem like Rei's probably protecting her friend, that her friend is not... I'm sure she probably knows that, but she's been protecting her. And that could actually turn into an interesting thing. If Hinami ends up joining this front, I think it's going to cause a conflict for Rei, and she might actually eventually join their group. That's where I'm kind of thinking things are going to go. I think Rei's going to eventually join the group just for Hinami, but we'll see. But yes, they call out for Jinosuke, and Hisaki's like, oh, I'm being ignored again. This poor girl, no, she's turning into not really necessarily that she's fat. Nobody wants to bang her, but it's more of the fact. I like how I'm trying to censor myself when I know I just need to not censor myself just because I'm just going to bleep it anyways. But it's not that she's fat. It's just that it seems like nobody notices her. Like, she's totally the background character. That's what I think the joke is going to be for her. It's not that she's fat. She's the background character. But yes, they eventually jump on to Jonosuke. He has the eggs, and they're about to call him out for it. And then suddenly Nanase shows up and says that they use it for egg play. Yep. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Yep. Moving on. Moving on. To each their own, I guess. To each their own. But yes, they go to the underground layer under the school. Apparently that entire facility is built underneath. Well, it makes sense because they were fleeing out of the school. They went out to the forest nearby, fell into it. So it's probably like right underneath there. But yes, they have some 3D printers in there. They're going to make a bunch of gachapons that have the eggs inside of them that are weapons. And so they have to install it everywhere. So they went literally everywhere, installed these gachapon machines that have toys in them that are actually weapons, but nobody will touch them except for them in emergencies because nobody wants to take. Nobody wants them, so it perfectly works out for them. It's stupid. It's stupid. I like when they go to the shrine, they do the whole like ritual, like clap, clap, bow, and all that kind of stuff, and they have nearby they're making like references to it. And then they have what was actually in the gachapon machine before, which was a moan button. Yeah, I think I've heard of things like that before. Sure, what do you need that for? But yeah, they get caught by the FS. FS comes by, and so they have to act out that they're having. At which point, yes, we find out Jinosuke's trauma. Which, yes, the initial thing is kind of absurd and funny in the idea that this guy is like, I have a massive. It is so freaking massive. It defies common sense. But yes, then it gets to the actual drama and the idea that it's always caused him problem. When he was very young, they, him down. He was bullied in front of a bunch of his classmates or a bunch of children. They him down and made fun of him. And that has pretty much made it to where anybody that sees it or touches it, it causes them a trauma. Again, an actual serious, like, mental trauma thing in the midst of a island joke show. I'll take it. Because, again, it is an actual logical thing put in absurdity that would obviously be why this guy has problems. But additionally, he turns to her and says, but that's about me. What about you? Are you okay with violating the law? She said, well, it's kind of a little bit too late to kind of turn back now. But all she says is, I understand about wanting to have with someone that you love. They have a brief little kind of stare blush thing here. I'm assuming the thing here again is that Nanase is from his childhood. When he was from the island before, she liked him, he liked her, that kind of thing. But something happened. And it could be an idea that she might blame her for what happened with that whole situation. But either way, I think that she's probably tied in with the whole, or their father's probably tied into the whole, like, law thing. But she wants to keep herself for him. That's really what it's going to turn down to. Her driving force is that she wants to keep herself for him. That's what it's going to probably turn into. Anyways, they go home. Nanase cooks them a nice big meal. Dude, Jinosuke, bag this girl. Bag this girl. She's hot. Seems like she's a nice person. She's pretty cool. And she can cook really good. She takes care of your sister. Bag this girl. After this entire night, I'm like, why? Dude, at least establish something, bro. Just at least establish something, bro. Open the door for something, bro. But no, I thought that was really cute. Again, getting into an actual logical trauma, which Asane has in the idea that, yes, she's into girls. It kind of alluded that in the previous episode. Now, I had a thought process that she might swing both ways. Because, again, in the previous episode, when she's seen the elite girls, she was like, oh, man, I missed out on the opportunity to get in a group with them. Like, she wanted it. And he's like, well, why don't you go do that? If that's what you want to go do that. Now, yeah, makes sense here that this is why she's not going to be accepted on the island. Like he says later on talking to Nanase, there's a reason why me and her will never be accepted. I don't like the idea of with somebody that I don't like or just casual. With my sister, they will never accept on this island her preference. Yeah. Everybody here, it's for the idea of supposed to accept it. Seemingly, they're not going to be acceptance of two girls doing it together. That's what they're establishing here, is that apparently if, Rei wanted to do it with Nanase, that's apparently not allowed. They only want the boys and the girls coming together. That's all they're saying. They're wanting the boys and girls to come together. But yeah, getting into the trauma of her and the idea that, yes, that she was bullied for that. Because she likes girls, she was bullied for that, and so she kept to herself. And that would explain why she essentially became a NEET. She locked herself up, became a recluse because, yeah, people were making fun of her. Now, it doesn't imply that she's a NEET, because she could have been making money from all the stuff that she's doing, so it's not necessarily NEET. She's a recluse. A shut-in. But yes, Nanase, good girl. Nanase hugging her. Like, this girl gonna blow up. She's gonna be in those... She's gonna blow up, and sure enough, she's like... I'm almost happy that I was bullied because of right this moment. Like, everything was for this moment, that she would embrace me for my issues. Kind of it's funny, but at the same time, it makes sense, the idea that this girl's like, okay, great, I'm finally accepted by somebody, and it's her, and this is really comfy right now. And explodes. Really cool. Again, a little following up scene, having Nanase and Jonosuke talking, and him again pointing out the fact that this society won't accept me or my sister, thus I'm gonna fight back against it, that kind of thing. So, and yes, that his hobby is making toys, and they're really well reviewed. Again, from the previous episode, his hobby is making toys. A hobby. Yeah, okay, gotcha. And again, it makes sense to his character if he's never wanting to be with another girl, if that's the trauma that he has. That's his only way of relieving stress. It makes sense, come on. It's a perfectly healthy thing. And yeah, that's when Nanase brings up the fact that there might be others on the island that are just like us, which jumps us to Hinami. Now, yeah, Hinami, for our first shot of her, yeah, she's not feeling that she's endowed enough, that she wishes her were bigger. And she feels that's the reason why nobody is accepting her. Again, she almost forgets her chair. Has to point out the fact that he almost forgot the chair. Always has to have the chair with her. Before she goes out the street, seeing everybody, wondering why nobody will have with her, before being confronted by some captain dude that wants her on his ship. So right here, it does seem like somebody was wanting to her. But again, he looks to the sign that says no lolly, and then says, sorry, get off my ship, and walks away. Again, I'm assuming here that there's actual laws against, underage, which again, for this island, congrats for actually having some sort of moral standards here. But that's unfortunate for her, because I'm assuming that he's seen her, knows based on her outfit, her age, but unfortunately the sign possibly making him reconsider, because it might be seen as him attacking a child. So, again, makes her basically, because she's so petite. And that sucks. My poor girl. But yeah, like every scene after this is basically her being surrounded by people it, and she's not accepted. And she's looking at lolly stuff, going, I wish this is what I can get, because I can't really get it right now. It sucks. It sucks. I feel bad for the girl. But yeah, her having to do practices and exercises by herself before getting caught by Ray. And again, right here, pretty much solidifying to me that Ray knows. Ray, I mean, she walked in on her doing that alone. And again, that's supposed to be against the law. So her not doing anything about her friend doing that by herself, she's obviously covering for her. And again, she says that she's her childhood friend. Translated exercises. Okay. Yeah, we also jump to Misaki, who is being overly stimulated in a classroom full of before going home, and we get the perspective that, yes, she's a little bit too chunky. She's a little bit too chunky, and thus she's embarrassed to show herself to people. But again, I don't think that that's going to be a problem for a lot of people there. She's not that fat. I think she just has a lack of presence. I think that's going to be her actual joke, is that she lacks presence, and that's made her, I guess, overly mindful about how fat she is. But yeah, she's still, again, similar to Hinami, still doing her practices. Oh no, she says that she needs to lose weight, so she's going to practice while exercising at the same time. Yep. And yes, riding a bike. And riding a bike. I should have known there'd be bikes in this world. There would be bikes in the world. Cut back to the base. Yes, we have Jinosuke. Asane apparently has finished the program. They're working on a getaway program. They have a videotape that came in. So it kind of gives an indication this guy that is backing them is still alive, that he's creating like videos to send them on a regular basis, unless it was all timed and he knew what time they'd be there. I'm assuming this was all like somebody from a distance remote, communicating to them. But yes, he makes it's a video, but they secretly encrypted the him talking to them in reverse slow motion, so it sounds like moaning. Right. The moment they start reversing that and slowing it down, and it's just the lady's just going up and down, it's just like, you make sure to go to the bank or whatever. It's like, yeah, this is bull. This is bull. But yeah, they go to the bank, get some money, before we jump over to Hinami, who is on a park toy, riding a park toy, and wishing that she could become just like Nanase, because she just heard Nanase say that she was having a party all night, a marathon or something like that. marathon or something like that. But anyways, she gets confronted by a big old dude that claims that he's only 4 years old, that apparently read in somewhere on how to do it, and attacks her. A very uncomfortable scene, honestly, and a very kind of hilarious show, but thankfully, yes, Janosuke shows up and kicks him off. So actually a very cool introduction to the anti-copulation front, in that they're literally stopping some dirtbag that needs to be strung up. I got a great introduction to him. Something that I think the FS could actually accept, or at least not reprimand him for. But no, thankfully, nobody will know who he is because he's wearing the glasses. Now, it could actually turn to the idea that those glasses are like superly like high advanced technology that actually hides his identity in a way that we're not seeing. But we'll see. Yeah, it was sad when Hinami was being attacked and she's like, this is not what I want. I want it to be like, because again, she's wanted this the entire episode. She doesn't want to be a bad girl. And again, that's like the sad aspect of Hinami's character, is that it's not that she wants it. It's not that she cares for it. It's that the society has told her that she's a bad girl unless she does this one thing. And it's like in this moment, finally, I'm going to be able to do that one thing and I won't be a bad girl. Ray won't have to worry about me or whatever. But because it's this dude, it's terrifying to her, because what she was wanting was what's in the manga. She keeps looking at the manga to see the thing that she can't seem to be getting because she's a bad girl. And this isn't fitting that bill. It's screwed up. It's screwed up. But anyways, yeah, really goofy episode, crazy stuff. I didn't talk about it last week, but the OP is fire, dude. The OP's fire, dude. It is so fire. They went ham on that OP. That's some crazy shots in there. The whole shot with Toka and Ray like going on somebody, I was like, geez, they went crazy on this. Ooh, like super spicy. Doing the whole silhouette thing instead of like mosaics was kind of honestly a little bit of a shock, because that's typically something they don't do. I think I've seen some rare cases where they do silhouettes instead of mosaics, but anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 2 of Nukitashi. Hope you guys enjoy this video and me laughing and talking about the absurdity of each scene. Hopefully some people find that enjoyable. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you like this content and you want to support the channel more, become a member of the channel, because this will probably be demonetized. But until next time, y'all take care.